Hello, Ranked new video. Today we're gonna take a look at some Ultra League battles that got sent to me with XL Kecleon. This Pokemon has access to the fast move of Sucker Punch, which gonna give it a huge buff this season, and I have no idea on how this is gonna go, but we will find out very shortly here. We're going to have a team of Kecleon in the lead, which is going to be great against that Feraligatr here, as Feraligatr is going to do a resisted damage, double resisted damage, with the Shadow Claw, as we can try our best by going for some fast moves here of Sucker Punch. Again, thanks for sending on those battles. If you want to send in some battles as well, link is always going to be down in the video description. This video is most likely going to come up when I'm in Dortmund for the tournament there. Most likely not going to compete very well there, because I have no time to prepare, but that doesn't matter. So, anyway, we want to take a look at the Drapier matchup here against the Clefable. Clefable got buffed this season as well, with Fairy Vent doing more damage and also Swift doing more damage. And I guess needing less energy is the same as doing more damage at the end of the day. But you're going to see here the Moonblast coming through, getting the shield from the Feraligatr. You're not gonna be in farm down risk, which is going to be kind of good for you as well. And so you're gonna use a shield. In comes Ampharos, and Ampharos has usually access nowadays to the charge moves of Brutal Swing as well as Trailblaze. For our Pokemon in the back, that's going to be great, because the actually double nuke variant of the Weezing is going to have a great time here. Weezing does not really care too much about Trailblaze or the Brutal Swing, and so you can let the next move go through as well here. And it's going to be another, actually it's going to be a Brutal Swing this time around. They should be in range for a Play Rough, but you decide to go for the Overheat instead, which is still gonna take the knockout. And in comes the Feraligatr. You're forced to swap out of here just to clear your debuff. And if you still have a shield left, you know already this game is going to be over. Play Rough is gonna come through here, and this should be enough to knock them out and win you their battle. And that's going to be it for this one. Good game to the opponent, and we can move on to the next opponent. So let's see what the next opponent is going to have here. We're going to have Kecleon against Golurk. Going to be a very good matchup for you. This is going to be a great one, as you're going to do super effective damage, and they also realize it now, while swapping into another Pokemon that you're going to be good against. Foul Play is going to hit here and get a ton of damage onto them. Maybe would have been even worth it to stay in and go for a charge move, but here you see Impetai with your Clefable. Swift is the hardest hitting move they can go for, which is still doing quite some decent damage, but not going to be too threatening, so that is going to be fine. The Swift is coming through, we're gonna get the shield. We can get another Swift coming through from the opponent here, which you can let go through as well. You can survive this, which is totally okay for you. And they swap back out into the Golurk to catch the normal type hit to do no damage against you, but that is going to be okay for you because you can swap out. Now it's down to your Kecleon. You have to be careful with the Dynamic Punch that is gonna come through here. Gonna be a shield coming up, which was a very smart move by you. Now you're going to have a Foul Play and even a Thunderstone. And a lot of people don't even know this Pokemon learned Thunder, and so here we're gonna see a very nice hit, which did way less damage than expected. Holy hell, this did nothing, but it doesn't really matter because we can take a look at it again here apparently. But honestly, like, this did basically no damage. I was really expecting that this would do a bit more damage, but apparently this is not the case, and that is going to be okay here, as you're gonna see the opponent now going for their Swift. Gonna not even knock you out. I think they just forfeit. Yeah, I think that is just game over here. You can go for the full farm on. This is going to be a good game. Next opponent, let's see what they're going to have. We're going to have the Kecleon against Clefable. Horrible lead for you. Gonna swap out straight away into your Weezing. We're just running the double nuke moveset, which I guess is going to be kind of good for you here. Empoleon is coming in, a Pokemon that I really want to take a look at as well. Empoleon having access to Metal Claw is an interesting shout for the current meta. Metal Claw is a thing. Like, it's not going to be a great move to have, generally speaking. It's kind of sad actually for the Lairon. Lairon would be a Pokemon I really would have liked to take a look at in the Open Great League, and now it got double nerfed and one buff. So at the end of the day, it is just going to be a bit worse than before, and so it's kind of sad for Lairon. But yeah, definitely the only Pokemon that really benefits from Metal Claw is going to be the Empoleon, because it doesn't have a better fast move. But I would actually imagine that we're going to see a buff for Waterfall in the future in terms of the energy generation of this move. But anyway, we're going to have here the Swift from Clefable, gonna take the knockout against you. And are you gonna go back into your own Clefable here? No, you're actually gonna go into the Weezing, going for an Overheat. Overheat does a bit more damage than Play Rough. Overheat is doing quite a bit of damage. I think it's like 130 damage or something, for of course the debuff that you're gonna have on your attack. But it is fine. We're gonna see the shield coming up against the Swift, which is kinda not ideal, because yeah, that is definitely a move that you don't want to shield. Very likely going to be Moonblast now from the opponent. It is a Swift again, and so they're going to bait you twice, which is really annoying for you. You're forced to basically catch a move here, I think, to have a chance of winning this battle. You can go still for a Swift, I guess. I'm not too sure what you're actually gonna do here. We're gonna see the Hydro King coming through, putting you not in Swift range yet, but you can go for the Moonblast. I would have went for the Swift here. I think they're gonna let the move go through, so you're gonna be able... Never mind, they don't let the move go through. And you catch the move actually, that's going to be great for you, but you're forced to go for the Swift now against the opponent. And also you're gonna have to overfarm by a bit, you have to go for the Moonblast here. And this is going to be a very close one. This is going to be enough to knock them out here, which is very important. And in comes the Feraligatr, which has to take a Swift now. Is going to be a victory, let's find out. It is, and that was a great game there. Next opponent, let's see what they're going to have. They're going to have Poliwrath in the lead. That's going to be not ideal. You can swap out straight away. You have 2 good answers for this Pokemon. Would have been a bit better, most likely, to go into your other one, but it's what it is. We're going to see here the Moonblast finding its way against a Jirachi. This is going to do some solid damage, and we can still try our best to go for another one here, but they're going to have super effective hits with Jirachi here. Jirachi, interesting Pokemon, has access to Confusion, which is kind of decent in the current meta. And I don't know why I decided to go ahead and not go for a charge move there. I feel like that doesn't really make any sense at all, because now you just risk gaining more damage onto your Kecleon, so don't really see the point of that play. Definitely should have went for a Moonblast instead. But you even let the move go through here, which I don't really understand what is going on here, because now you take a ton of damage on your Weezing. And that does not really make any sense at all here. I don't know really what is happening in this game. I have to say, I'm like here trying to commentate, being quite confused about everything. You're gonna use a shield, which is fine. It's gonna allow you to, yeah, take the Doom Desire. You can go for the full farm down, but like, how are you gonna win this battle here? I'm not too sure about it. We're gonna have the Poliwrath now taking that Play Rough, which is not going to be enough. You have to fully farm them down. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way of winning this battle. Like, if there would be a way, I would be very confused. Ice Wind is coming through. It is gonna be the Venusaur on the back, and yeah, it's gonna be a good game. No way they're gonna no-shield this move. They don't, and so it's going to be sadly a loss, but I feel like this was definitely winnable. Moving on to the next opponent, we're going to have the Giratina in the lead, and the entire team is going to be able to counter this Pokemon. Especially your lead is going to have a great matchup, as you have the super effective Sucker Punch, you have the super effective Foul Play, and they have the resisted Ghost type damage, which is just quite lovely for you. You're going to have such a great time here now. Let's see how this is gonna go. Foul Play, gonna get the shield, and let's all see what the opponent tries to do here. Why do they use a shield even? It doesn't really make any sense at all for them. They can go for another Dragon Claw, you don't really care too much. And you're actually gonna swap out here, which I like, because you have an ABB style line. You have 2 good answers in the back. You have a lead that might be able to counter some of the weaknesses of Fairy type Pokemon. And so I do definitely understand this play, and I definitely think it's the right play to do. And here we're going to have one Pokemon that's great against Fairies, which is going to be the Alolan Magia, which honestly doesn't really have any play anymore, does it? Like, I have not really seen this Pokemon around at all. I feel like actually it's worth it to go for the shield here, which I do agree with totally with this player. Would definitely think that this definitely is going to be worth it for them, because now they can realign, and realignment is very important. Or can they? They cannot. They can still take another Dark Pulse apparently though, and still it's going to be fine. You're going to get some more energy. It doesn't really matter, because you have 2 great answers for the final Pokemon from the opponent there as well. But yeah, here against the Escavalier, it's going to be a bit more tricky. They go into the Giratina, and you are in a great spot now. What you can do is, you can just let the move go through, and just basically go for the Play Rough, get a ton of energy in advance, and you should be kind of fine in this battle. Like, 1 more overheat is all it takes, and you should be kind of fine. You're gonna be able to reach in time. This is going to completely melt the opponent. We can move on to the next one. Let's see what they're going to have. We're going to have here the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to be a Pokemon. We're at least going to have the surprising Thunder here. I really want to see if this is going to land or not. Like, a lot of people, I don't think really gonna expect this move to be as strong, or like even on this Pokemon. So let's see if they're gonna know if there's a Thunder on this Pokemon. They did know apparently, and you're gonna swap out Stray Ray into the Clefable to get out the opponent's Charizard, which is fine. You have Swift at least. Swift is gonna do some neutral damage. You should be able to swipe on 1 Blast Burn, as you have the normal variant of the Charizard against you, which is going to be very good for you, because you can take a hit. Against the Shitter variant, you usually cannot really take a hit, And so it is going to be kind of fine for you. You're gonna see here again, the Blast Spin is not going to knock you out. You can go for another Swift, and that's what I mean. This matchup is not really that bad for you, as we will see the swap out into the Kecleon. Kecleon is gonna be able to use a shield here onto the Blast Burn, tries to get as much energy as possible. As we know already, the Thunder is going to be able to get super effective damage against one Pokemon, but not only this, they're going to have Armored Mewtwo here in the back. This Pokemon, quite rare, like only for people that play the game already for quite a long time. I don't think it has been available for over 3 years at this point, and that's kind of sad. I don't think it was ever available as a shiny, which would have been cool, I have to say. I would really like to get a shiny variant of this Pokemon, but anyway, not as great anymore in the Open Ultra League anyway, so yeah, it's not the best Pokemon, so you don't really miss out too much as well, but definitely was a very dominant Pokemon for quite a long time. And definitely something that, especially when it got first released, was so good in the Go Battle League. Nowadays, not as much, but yeah, Armored Mewtwo. I like this Pokemon. I just like the idea behind, like, when there's like some kind of special Pokemon for Pokemon Go that are different to the main series games. I kind of like this, but yeah, let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to have the Nidoqueen here. Nidoqueen, for sure, something where you want to stay in because your backline really going to struggle against this Pokemon. You're going to try your best to go ahead and go for the foul plays. You let the moves go through as well from the opponent, which is interesting. This is going to be definitely getting a shield, which is interesting. You can still try to go for another one. You might be forced to use a shield here to get some damage onto them, but you decide to let the move go through and just rely on your Weezing to win this battle, which I feel like is very risky, but you go straight for the overheat to try to get the knockout. Let's see if this is going to work out for you. Was this the right decision? It was, and it wasn't at the same time. The opponent has a 1 HP and a Dream. You can swap out into your Clefable. You're locked into this matchup. But at least you're going to have an energy and a shield advantage against the opponent as you're going to go into the Wall Rain. Wall Rain going to be able to outspeed you, generally speaking. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. What do we think here is going to happen? We're going to get half of the HP from the opponent, means you have to go for another Moonblast in order to knock them out. And we're gonna see here as well that the Feraligatr is coming in next, which is not ideal at all as well. You're gonna go for the Moonblast. This is gonna maybe even get the Attack Drop. Attack Drop would be quite juicy for you here. Let's see if you're gonna get it. You do not get it, and you're gonna try your best to reach another move in time. We're gonna see the Hydro Cannon coming through, and you're gonna get the Moonblast onto the opponent. That is going to be quite good for you. This is going to be able to get them very low. And now it's down to Weezing to win the battle. Can Weezing reach the move in time? It cannot. Please don't be an Earthquake. Earthquake would knock you out. It's just the Icicle Spear, and so you can go for the Play Rough, which doesn't debuff your attack. And this would most likely allow you also to farm on the Feraligatr, which would be very important for you. And so you can win the battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. Anyway, yeah, normal type of Kecleon here. What is your favorite normal type Pokemon? I feel like normal type Pokemon are actually quite cool, just generally speaking. I like them a lot, but I don't really know if there's a specific one that I like the most. I actually think Tauros for me. Tauros is, I think, my favorite normal type Pokemon. Main reason, actually, I was very sick back in the day when I was smaller as well. I was a lot of times in the hospital because I'm asthmatic, and it was a bit worse when I was smaller. A little bit of a life story there. But my brother, who's also part of the community, of course, as the Zoilis Audio1 Regional, actually back in the day got me a shiny variant of this one in Diamond and Pearl back in the day, by like hunting that one down, and traded to me when I was in hospital, and that was so lovely from him that I feel like this is kind of my favorite Pokemon, shiny Tauros. So thanks to my brother for that one. Still kind of is with me here even after like so many years. But yeah, definitely one of the coolest Pokemon I ever got, and thanks so much towards him with that one. And yeah, my favorite normal type Pokemon I would say is Tauros actually, which is kind of hilarious. Also cool Pokemon competitively, having access I think to the move to the ability Sheer Force plus Life Orb plus good speed. Very good Pokemon as well there. Sadly not so good in Pokemon Go, but maybe in the future. But yeah, here we're gonna have the Trevenant. Trevenant is a rare Pokemon, kinda got a bit of a nerf I feel like this season, just with the Pokemon that got buffed. But especially for the Great League, for the Ultra League. Also kinda, because a lot of the Pokemon that you were answering before are kinda gone. And so yeah, that's mainly the biggest issue for Trevenant, and you're gonna be able to win this battle as well. Next one, we're going to have the Lickilicky. Lickilicky is going to... Lickilicky is such an awkward Pokemon to commentate, because then you say, oh, the opponent has Lickilicky. Lickilicky is going to go for a Body Slam. Like, how many Lickies do you want to say? Anyway, we're going to have your Lickilicky against us, which is gonna take an attack drop from the Moonblast. I was waiting for that one. That is an important one, that is a good one, that is a juicy one. This attack drop is going to help you out quite a bit as well, as now they're gonna do way less damage against you and you're gonna get them really low. Low enough that you can go for the full farm round for sure, which is gonna be super good, as now we will see the Clefable getting a ton of energy. A bit of lag there, I think that kinda denied you one false move, which should not really matter in the long run, because you get the false move through here anyway. But yeah, I think it just denied you sneaking one through, which really doesn't have any impact here in this battle. And you're going to be able to just go ahead, go for the Moonblast, get them low. And again, Kecleon is going to try its best here, but sadly they're going to have a mid-champ in the back. Fairly certain you should still be able to survive one cross chop here. And so Thunder is coming through. Let's see if this is going to land or not. We will find out shortly, and it is going to not land here at all. But you still have a Fairy type on the back, and so we're kinda in a solid spot here. They do double resisted damage, which is ridiculous. And you just have to be a bit careful with a potential Stone Edge as they decide to go for the bait. Is it going to be a Stone Edge? No, it is our Rock Slide. Rock Slide does no damage anyway, and they decide to forfeit, and this is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.